Hey guys, today we're looking at this older Synology DS1515 Plus. We're having some issues with it powering on. We supply power to it and it's not powering on, so we're thinking it's going to be the power supply. So we're going to go show you today how to replace a power supply in a Synology NAS server. Let's get right into it. So as you can see, we have two of these Synology servers. One is just a 1515, one's a 1515 Plus. This is the one that's having the issue. Now, before you think it's the power supply and before we replace the power supply, let's do a couple things. Let's check for, right? Make sure your power cord is plugged in and you know you have power. Then it's just to make sure that power cord works, right? So we're going to go behind here. We're going to unplug this Synology server that we know that is not working. We're going to plug it into the one that we know works to make sure that power cord and everything works. And you can see it's already powering on. So we know the power is good. We know the power cord is good. So we know it's got to be something with the Synology NAS. So let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at it. So before we take apart that Synology NAS, we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsor TEMU. They provided us with this nice silicone electronics mat, which is great for taking apart laptops because you got everything coded by numbers. You got additional spots here for screws. Everything you're going to need to basically take apart something. You can put your screwdrivers here, additional screws up there. And I like these compartments that they're labeled as well. You know, part C box, part B, part A. It's nice to be able to keep all your screws and everything organized when you take apart something. So we're gonna actually utilize this today. And they also included this nice toolkit here. As you can see, it almost comes with every screw bit you ever need. And you can see this is gonna be a great tool to take apart this Synology NAS. All right, now let's pry this NAS open. So we got our nice screwdriver here, which is all magnetic, which is really nice and handy. And place it into our compartments here so we know where each screw goes. All right, now we can go ahead and take our cover off. And then we can put it upright. So now we got a couple screws here that we need to remove so that we can get this power supply out and then we can disconnect it from the circuit board. But it looks like we also have some zip ties here. So we're gonna need some tools to cut these zip ties. So really before you go ahead and remove this and everything from the circuit board and you go ahead and unscrew all this, let's just bring our power supply in here and let's just hook it up and let's just make sure that this is the problem, so we don't waste any time removing all of this and then it still doesn't work. Then we know we might have a circuit board or motherboard issue that's not causing it to power up. So we're just gonna remove this one zip tie to make it easy for us to now go ahead and remove it from the motherboard here. Okay, we got the board connected. Now we got another power here that powers the drive, so we're gonna remove that. And then our final plug there, we got those two removed now. So temporary, we're just gonna set this up on top and we're gonna plug our motherboard connector in. Make sure that's nice and snug and connected. All right, can't forget these two things or our drives won't get powered on. All right, perfect. All right, we got those connected. All right, now that we have everything plugged in temporarily, we're gonna go ahead and plug in our power here. Now, one thing to note, sometimes with these power supplies, we're gonna go ahead and unplug this again, but if you notice, it's got 240 and 120 if you switch it back, and it's set for 230 volts. So we need to switch that down to 120, because if we're in United States, usually everything's 120 coming out of your standard house outlet, right? So we need to switch that from 230 to 120. So let's go ahead and switch that now. We're gonna grab our flathead and simply just switching that down. All right, we just switched it down to 115, which is basically 120. We almost lost it there. So we just switched it to the 115. So now let's go ahead and plug this in and let's see if we can get some power to it. All right, we just plugged our power in. Now let's see if we can power it on. And look at that. We just brought this Synology server back to life. So it looks like it was just a bad power supply for this Synology server. In your instance, it could be the board, but I've seen in a lot of cases with these 515s, I know they're older models, but it can really happen with any Synology server. The power supply goes bad and then the thing just shuts off, but hey, we just replaced the power supply for 40, 50 bucks. We're back in and running. Now let's go ahead and remove this one and swap it in so we know that for sure it's the power supply that's causing the issue. You need to be very careful when you're cutting the rest of these zip ties because we got two more to cut. We just did one, and we gotta get this one so that we can get this thing out of here. There's our last one. Now we got a couple of screws here. I'm gonna tilt this up, and we got a couple of screws One here, one up there, and another one back here, and one up there. So 4 more. I love this map because we can organize what screws go where, so we know these are the back of the screws, and these are the additional screws we're using to remove this bracket here. So I'm definitely loving this map. All right, now we can bring in our new power supply. Make sure it lines right up with the hole there, and we can screw this back in. Get our bracket back inserted, and we know what screws we need to reach for. Get that screwed in. And the last screw. All right, so make sure you got all your screws in, brackets back in. Now we can reconnect all of our wires. All right, these 2 are done. Let's rotate it here and get our motherboard back in. All right, we grabbed some small zip ties and we zip tied the wires here just like it normally is. And now that you have all the wires tucked in, make sure they're tucked in there nicely so you don't get any wires snagged. Now you can slide the top back in, and now we can reinforce the back with the screws. Grab our screws and get the back now screwed in. And we got our last screw in. And you're all done, you guys. That's how easy it is to replace a power supply in one of these Synology NAS servers. And really having a tool set like this and a mat like this to help keep you organized, not just in taking apart a Synology server, but really any kind of computer, laptops mainly because they have a lot of screws. This will help keep you organized in taking something apart and organizing all your screws in certain spots. Definitely helps out me when I take things apart, and I normally just have the screws spread out everywhere. But this helps you keep you organized so you don't miss a screw while putting something back. I don't know how many times I put something back, and I'm like, hey, why do I have extra screws laying around? And then I kind of forgot that I didn't put a screw back the way it was supposed to go. And this toolkit is definitely nice. I just love how compact it is. Everything's magnetic and it comes right back out. And it comes in this nice little steel case and that you can set off to the side, and you don't even know that it's a screwdriver set, which is pretty cool. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys in replacing a power supply in a Synology NAS server, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.